No, no, Good morning, Mark. Before we start, please stand for prayer.
Let us pray in the name of the Father, and Son, and Spirit. Lord God, we praise you. By your name, we give thanks, God, and respect for our family. Help us to listen with open hearts, lighten our minds, bless our discussions, practice your wisdom, guidance in everything. Grant us a discernment to achieve what is best for you. Grant us to witness those things, all of us. Jesus, we pray. All the
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our debate conference today, April 15, 2026. Boxec, please determine if this forum.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. This morning, we'll have a private conference for civil works projects. Let's start by acknowledging the presence of the Business Works Committee, our chairperson, Engineer Leo Alex Mabanglo, with the vice chairperson and presider for this activity, Engineer Cherui Nasaren, together with the members, Engineer Rodrigo and Engineer Claudio. We are now informed, Mr. Chief.
With the presence of the back members, this meeting, this proceeding is called to order. Okay, we have the agenda, we have four projects to be discussed. Number one is the 25 LC 0096, repair rehabilitation of road slip and slope collapse along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, 1488 plus 840 to 1488 plus 900, with a ABC of 3,512,600 pesos. And number two is the 25 LC 0097, repair rehabilitation of road mid-slip and slope collapse along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, kilometer 1489 plus 480 to 1489 plus 570 intermittent section with an ABC of 3,683,405 pesos. And number four is the 25 LC 0098, repair rehabilitation of road which slip and slope collapse along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, kilometer 1489 plus 700 to 1489 plus 800 with an ABC of 2,423,300 pesos. And last, number four, the 25 LC 0099, repair rehabilitation of road which slip and slope collapse along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, kilometer 1490 plus 45 to 1490 445, intermittent section, ng PVC of 5,875,885 pesos. And we have the agenda, the brief presentation explanation by the back of the following: the basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, documents to be submitted with the bidders, as stipulated in section 54.2 of the 1209, which is the technical proposal, the financial proposal, and the criteria of the procedure of eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post qualification, deliberation, recommending award and award. And number two, the question comments from the bidders and replies of back and other representatives of pure entity and the other matters, the interim guidelines upon lifting of suspension of procurement activity for locally funded civil works projects as referred into the DPWH memorandum dated September 16 of 2025, which will be discussed later by the Baxan Detailant. And number two is the bidder's responsibilities, the Philippine Building Documents Procurement of Infrastructure Projects, the Department Order number 28 series of 2024, dated February 26, 2024, subject is the three-strike policy of infrastructure, goods and consulting services, and occupational safety and program in construction operators. Department Order number 2.9, series of 2024, and subjects documents and the processing, approval and reporting system of construction, safety and program, CSHP, and development infrastructure project. Six is the development order number 231, shared on 2025, dated August 13, 2025, started guidelines on the use of the DPWH performance evaluation system for contractors, consultant, and suppliers. And the directive to report the submission of the annual information sheet or the GPS reflecting the beneficial information around the emergency 2026 clarification of the implementation of the DOI disclosure requirements under the memo dated November 19 of 2025. And lastly is the disciplinary proceedings including supplemental big ratings to be issued. So we have personnel from the media section to discuss to us the basic contract data. Go ahead, sir.
limits and the beginning of replacement of CCP and caveats. So this is the geotech petition. This is the uh, first works. So as you can see, the blue line there is the this mapping. Yeah, blue legend there, the blue wordings. It is for this funding 2020 QRF, and the orange wordings there is the 20 is for the 2026 maintenance. So this is the typical roadway section at normal ground slow protection. Also the typical elevation of clip wall details, whip hole, and column footing details. So this is the typical roadway section again with the minimum crest details, gabion details, the connection details, and chute details. And that's all for the project number one.
Saan na live view yung mga advertisements? Saan na live involved sa view yung mga advertise? Pag-ibalik ka sa pagkakuan. It's slide number 2. Next slide. So, sana may i-publish nyo. That's pretty big na. Hindi ka rin. Running tanan ang
Mga tatas and published.
hindi na very program, no? Very program siya. So na ay
Sa straight line, sir.
okay. Sila. Ito na yung ang i-post na to sa
Posted na, sir.
sa plan na ano natin biyak yun ay mga i-post.
Yes, positive. Bali, ang natanggal lang, sir, is itong guardrails.
Balik ka sa previous line. Itong itong binipanilis. So wala na yung guardrails na.
Yes, po, sir. Ay. Kaya naman, hindi ako, sir.
Napamangka sa parties mo since na yung documents ko napamahal sa parties mo since na makamagaya na meron ng binigyan retires na. Then the presentation sa straight line diagram nawala siya. So,
Meron ka. Bali, sir, ang natanggal na rin sa katuang gamit is PCCP replacement, sir. As is ang gabion, sir. As is ang gabion.
ibalik ka sa previous time mo committees or presentation. So that night, 11. Ang mga discourse. Ang mga PCCP sa
280 kung
yung
big one na ako sa big o kanang sisipid yun na 280 o 150. At least, no?
For clarification, sir, bali, as per programmer, na-shorten na naman po PCCP, sir, na i-reflect. Tapos, ang ato ang gabions na shorten ko dyan, sir. Kung i-versus natin sa dati, sir.
because give money reputation to give. So there is a failure during sa merong bidding. Whatever reason, we are mandated to revisit kung saan to pwede pa na-edit program na in this case, the program.
Yes, sir.
So naibang ko na i-advertise na the important is good. Okay, so sige. Okay, sige. So, just aga po ng PCCP na use the time. Una-una na reviews is tatlo ng mga siguro number of
Number of blocks, sir.
funding, reward,
Yes, sir.
guardrail, then ang elevation sa gabios, sa back, sa gabi.
Wala, Sub-act observability check. A shorten non-processor. As is po ang innovation sa
Kasi na ng mga program para sa nila. Kaya sir, ang ganda.
yes, that's possible.
Advance video category report, lab by the reporting. So, we want to do that. But they will here, strong, possibly.
Ito practice si drivers
Para mag-zap ka na to, tayo. Pero, hindi. Siguro na niya ito. Siguro sa,
So this is for contact ID 25-C0097 repair/rehabilitation of road with steep and slow collapse along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela kilometer 1489 plus 80 to kilometer 1489 plus 670 intermittent section. So my location, Davao del Norte, ABC, 3,683,405, and source of fund, F1 2025 RA 12116 Special Purpose Fund. Duration is 75 calendar days. So this is the scope of work for this project with this item numbers, description, quantity, and unit. This is the project location and visiting map. So you can see the start of project limits and end of project limits. This is the total photo was the condition of this project. So this is the straight line diagram, the proposed works to be done this project. Again, there's a clip wall, typical elevation, clip wall detail, and PCCP pavement shoulder section, whip wall detail, column footing details, tie beam, and beam details for clip wall. And also, this is the typical roadway section at normal gravel. So as you can see, uh, two layers na lang po ang gabions natin. This from pare po. Bali, dati po, yung sa maintenance fund natin, ang i-cover is two layers of gabions. And due to price increase po sa fuel and other materials po. So, nakamap natin is two layers na po together with the mattresses po. Next. So that's all for project 2.
So, change lang ang mukha like,
Yes, sir.
sige mo.
So next. This is for contract ID 25L0098. Repair / rehabilitation of road with slope curves along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, kilometer 1489 plus 700 to kilometer 1489 plus 800. So the location, Davao del Norte, ABC, 5,423,300. Source of fund, FY 2025 RA 12116, special purpose fund. Duration is 90 calendar days. So this is the scope of work for this project. So this project is only embankment and slope protection gabion slope. This is the project location, vicinity map. So this is the geotag photo of the actual site condition for this project. So this is the straight line diagram showing proposed item of works. Again, PCCP replacement po is shouldered po for 2026 maintenance fund, and as PCCP na shouldering din po yung pave shoulder. For this project, only gabions and embankment works na po. Slope protection and embankment works. So this is the typical roadway section. So ito po yung plano natin dati. So for this, due to increase po, two layers will be for the maintenance fund po, as well as the reblocking works po. And meron din tayong network continuous po with its corresponding station limits po sa schedule. Typical roadway section po for each cross-sectional data po. Again, ang blue po is for this funding, you are at 2025, and the orange po is for the maintenance fund po na 2026. That's all for the project number 3 po.
Based on the original and the program, so changes on this project is unsay significant na pagkatong kung hindi mo pumunta ang gabions.
Ang gabion, sir, as is ang length niya, wala na siya 2 ka layer. And then remodeling works po is shorter po sa maintenance one.
Okay, thank you. Pero lang sa notice, itong kaning sa source of fund, ang up to special purpose fund, pero dito sa itong notice, napagi 2025 continuing FY 2025. So, unsay sa kana ang source of funds ang nasa board or against diri sa ato ang papel? Kani sa papel ang tama? Thanks for so napaning 2025 continuing FY 2025.
Oh.
So tama ning okay, so kuan ang
Gusto mo na siya before.
so sa presentation of like so correct mo parang notice
Yes, also. Sa presentation ako may
sige okay next project.
So this is for the fourth and the last project for QRF, contract ID 25LC0099, repair/rehabilitation of road with slip and slope collapse along section sa Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, kilometer 1490 plus 285 to kilometer 1490 plus 445 intermittent section. Rehabilitation, Davao del Norte, ABC, 5,875,885. Source of fund, FY 2025, RA 12116, Special Purpose Fund, duration 90 calendar days. So this is the summary quantities with item number, description, quantity, and unit. This is the project location vicinity map. You can see the start and end limits of projects. This is the geographic photo of tour site condition for this project. This is the straight line diagram showing post works for this project. So in this project po, wala kayo'y nabawas po sa mga na-adjust lang ang reblocking na to, reblocking length. Itong critical na kayo ng i-reblock. And then, ibawas po sa quantity sa
Nasa for the record, but maybe also last
what
let's say na
adjustment sa length sa reblocking.
sige
So, this is the typical detail or creep work, and it's typical elevation, column footing details, beam details, and wall details. This is the road, typical road section and normal ground type. So no changes po sa gabins para. This is the joint details po. So, ating Mississippi po. That's all for the final project po.
okay, thank you. So naibaba ng number of blocks for the original and right.
Yeah, yes po, sir. Yeah, po, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. So for the requirements of the developers, please. including invitation to bid, instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawing, bills of quantities, and including bidding documents with written forms. The bidding documents are posted on the DPWH website and below. Amendments to the provision of the bidding document shall be issued through a supplemental bid bulletin and will be posted in the bid bulletin and notices. Documents to be submitted by the bidder, technical and financial proposal. Bids must be duly received by the procuring entity's staff at Kilometer 48, Barangay Kanukutan, Tagum City, Davao del Norte for manual submission or at electronic bids _ Davao del Norte at dpwh.gov.ph or electronic submission. Bidders shall only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. For electronic submission, prior to the deadline of submission of bids, the prospective bidder shall send an email attaching the copy of the official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in portable document file or PDF format. Only the electronic bids of bidders who have successfully submitted an electronic official receipt shall be accepted. Prospective bidders shall prepare their bids in full file folders in appropriate documents and file format, each for the technical and financial components. Only during the actual opening of bids shall the bidder disclose the passwords for his electronic bid. This can be done by the bidder's authorized representative verbally in person, through phone call, online platforms, or through writing. For joint venture, the formula of pickup ID to be based by the bidders in naming their file shall be the pickup ID of the lead. The step-by-step detailed procedure of joint submission is stipulated in the bidding documents clause 22 and in Department Order 87, Series of 2020. Also included Department Order are the step before the modification by electronic bid, non-participation in the bidding, withdrawal of electronic bid, and proper email subject, and the file name for each file to be submitted to designated email address. For the technical proposal, Philippine Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR, DCAP license and registration in case of joint statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature, and complexity to the contract to be. Statement of the bidder's SLCC or single largest completed contract in accordance with ITB Clause 5-5. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contract or a final rating but is satisfactory in the SIP test or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, the equivalent documents shall be submitted. Net financial contracting capacity or NFCC computation in accordance with ITB Clause 5-6. Joint venture agreement, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of the two contractors. The bid security in prescribed form, amount, and validity period. That either of these options shall submit a bid security in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC bid securities in cash. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC in bid securities in cashier's check. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC in bid securities in manager's check. And the amount of not less than 5% of ABC in surety bond. In case of extension of bid validity and bid security validity period, substitution of the bid security form is allowed. Bid security declaration and the following form will be used. The cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company, duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Each shall remain valid for the period specified in the BDS, which shall not exceed 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Should it become necessary to extend the validity of the bids and the bid securities beyond 120 calendar days, the procuring entity concerned shall request in writing for those who have submitted bids for such extension before the expiration date, therefore. Any discrepancy in the amount given is entitled means non-compliant. Project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart, the personnel to be deployed for the procurement project to be bid, list of contractors' personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid with their complete qualifications and experience data. This personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the BDS. As per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employed bidder and working with another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out of the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder where it is awarded a contract under DD. The said certification shall be included in the first envelope of the sale bid. As per Department Order Number 252 Series of 2025, issued by the Department of Labor and Employment, revised implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act Number 11058, entitled an act strengthening compliance with occupational safety and health standards and providing penalties for violations thereof under Section 10, Safety in the Use of Equipment to cover. Operators shall undergo appropriate training and certification from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority and TESDA, the Professional Regulation Commission, the relevant government agencies, before using that equipment. The DOLE may recognize training provided by equipment manufacturers, the product suppliers, or international organization that is not available locally. Accredited Safety Officer, requirements for approval of construction safety and health program, required upon issuance of notice of award. In compliance with DOLE Department Order Number 252, Series of 2025, under Section 22, Occupational Safety and Health Standards for the Construction Industry. First aider with certificate of training issued by Philippine Red Cross or an organization authorized by the Secretary of Labor and Employment. Requirements for the approval of construction safety and health program, requirement of issuance of notice of award, in compliance with DOLE Department Order Number 252 Series of 2025, under Section 22, Occupational Safety and Health Standards for the Construction Industry. In compliance with Section 17 of DOLE Department Order Number 13, the implementation of construction safety shall be considered in all stages of project procurement, design, estimate, and construction, and its cost shall be integrated to the overall project cost under pay item B-71 and B-72, Occupational Safety and Health, as a lump sum amount to be quantified in the detailed estimate. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, or other purchase agreements supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the DBS. As per Department Order 58 Series of 2012, all prospective bidders are mandated to state with their bid documents a complete technical description of their pledged equipment and their whole release, such as but not limited to the engine number, year model, chassis number, fleet number, production capacity, and load capacity. In addition, the prospective bidder should also be required to state with their bid documents the particular place or site where the commitment are located as provided for under the Department Order Number 9 Series of 2012. If any field of equipment is not in the location, then the bidder shall be post disqualified. Failure with prospective bidder to comply with the said requirements shall result in the bidder's automatic first disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per Department of 11 Series of 2017. Pursuant to Department Order Number 171 Series of 2025, guidelines of the use of DPWH performance evaluation system for constructions, consultants, and supplier. Part of the Public Works and Highways recognizes the necessity of institutionalizing formal performance evaluation system for all types of procurement to ensure that past and ongoing performance records are consistently considered in critical stages of procurement and contract management. At the eligibility stage, pursuant to Section 54-4-2-5 of the IRR for infrastructure budget, leaders shall submit proof of satisfactory past performance, such as CPES rating of at least satisfactory and honor certificate final results or equivalent for private sector contracts. Leaders must ensure to adherence to the Department Order 110 Series of 2024 for the implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A. Contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of department, hence bidder must attach to the technical envelope their ISO 9001-2015 certification. Failure to attach will be a disqualification of their bid. Pursuant to Department Order 169 Series of 2025, currently accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects. Omnibus Sworn Statement in accordance with Section 54-3 of the IRR, 11 items, to ensure compliance to memorandum dated February 24, 2026, with the subject clarification on the implementing of beneficial ownership information or BOI disclosure requirements under the memorandum dated November 19, 2025, in accordance with Section 82 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act 12009, which provides for the disclosure of the beneficial ownership information for legal entities participating in government procurement. In this regard, and consistent with the intent of said provision, the following implementation guidance is adopted. Considering that the current omnibus statement already incorporates sworn declarations relating to beneficial ownership disclosure, and in order to streamline documentary requirements and avoid duplication of sworn submission, the separate submission of the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership, Annex A, shall no longer be required. In lieu thereof, disclosure of beneficial ownership shall be established through submission of the latest General Information Sheet or GIS reflecting beneficial ownership information or BOI duly filed with the stamp received by the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC. This requirement shall be specified in the documents comprising the bid as mentioned in item number 4 hereof, and shall be submitted by the bidders in its bid. The requirement shall apply only to the entities enumerated under Section 82 of the IRR, namely legal entities such as corporations, partnership, private sector organizations, foundations, and associations. For the financial proposal, financial bid for bid prices, bill of quantities in accordance with IPD clauses 13-1. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid and therefore is non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated. Otherwise, it will be rated as failed. Readers shall enclose their technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component, the financial component, and another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in an open envelope marked B, and B's proposal must be in A4 size. Further, the authorized license officer will be the one to draft the bids. Bids submitted to the courier will not be accepted. Readers shall submit two original copies and one copy to certify two copies, technical and financial components of the deed. The original copy of the deed shall be typed or written in ink and limited to 2 decimal places in amount and shall be signed by the bidder and its duly authorized representative. First envelope shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters. Bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters. The address to the procuring entity's bank in accordance with ITD Clause 18-1, where the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the ITD Clause 1-1, and bear in warning, do not open before the date or time for the issuing of bids in accordance with ITD Clause 19. The bidder shall also advise to be responsible of their bids submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposal should have proper topping in words. The list of the order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents in chronological order. Further, bidders are advised not to recycle legal documents or documents attached to the previous submission of bids, which have the signatures and countersigns of the back members. Late bids submitted will not be accepted. All forms, as mentioned in ITB Clause 17-1, must be completed without any alterations to their format. No substitute form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the bill of quantities, under Section 9 hereof, shall be signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be a ground for the rejection of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, or overwriting shall be valid only if they resign or initialed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Bidder with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract. All bid documents are still subject to detailed bid evaluation and boost qualification, need to be declared as lowest bid related responsive bid, and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days for the bidding to file for a motion for reconsideration. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination fees, detailed evaluation fees, post qualification, deliberation recommending award and award. After determining the names of the bidders that submitted bids for the contract at hand, the bank, assisted by its tax secretariat, shall check if each bidder that submitted bids is eligible to bid for the contract being procured. This shall be done electronically using the DPWH CWA. The tax secretariat shall enter into the CWA the income license number and or name of the bidder. The CWA program will be electronically processed and match the bidder's capability or eligibility data in the CWA. The computer program will automatically determine if the bidder meets the following eligibility requirements. The cost of the bidder's SLCC is at least 50% of the APC of the project to be procured. The bidder's NFCC is at least equal to the APC of the project to be procured. The program will also automatically generate the results of the eligibility check. The reasons for ineligibility will also be automatically shown in the notices of ineligibility. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criteria as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act or NGPA. This office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. The procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation and comparison of the bids which shall pass the opening and preliminary examination phase. pursuant to ITB Clause 22 to determine the lowest calculated bid or LCB. Lowest calculated responsive bid or LCRB is the award criteria. The same to be applied to the bill checking evaluation of the technical proposal. Then the bidder rated as the lowest calculated bid will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as the lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders found to have conflicting interests shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand, without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All prospective bidders shall be required to submit resource disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership, clearly identifying the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly through shareholding, voting rights, contractual agreements, or other means of control. Failure to comply shall be ground for categorically automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IFR. For the first qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, and annual assurance and relative to this matter since the back will be very keen, strict conduct the post-qualification process. As per the said DO, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it had a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 days and to complete them within 30 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies, or failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificate of acceptance within 30 days and to complete the works within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures or substandard quantity of work as per contract plans and specifications or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligation as per contract terms and conditions to the time of inspection or liquidate the damages currently imposed on the contractor. During post qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, we will be sending you a letter being the lowest calculated responsive bid. Moreover, the qualifications and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post qualification process as per DO number 127 series of 2018. The bank, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of the post qualification as per DO number 127 series of 2018. The equipment verification team will conduct an inspection and the verification of the equipment pledged by the contractor. Mr. Chair, in addition, we would like to inform our readers the common reasons for their failure. Failure to follow the posted supplemental bulletin on PhilJEPs and DPWH website. A contractor may fail in the bidding process if he or she does not strictly comply with the requirements, revisions, or certifications stated in the supplemental bulletin posted in the PhilJEPs and DPWH websites. Incorrect pay item description, unit, or quantity in the bill of quantities. If there are errors in the bill of quantities, such as incorrect pay items description, units of measurement, or quantities may result in disqualification during the evaluation of bids. The inconsistencies in the equipment plan and supporting documents, the contractor may be disqualified if instead in the equipment pledge not match the attached supporting documents such as official receipts, certificate of registration, proof of ownership, release agreement. All details, example, equipment type, plate number, capacity, and ownership information must be consistent and properly documented. The non-compliance with SLCC supporting documents requirements under Section 52-4-2-5. The single largest completed contract must be supported by any of the following: an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, a final rating of at least satisfactory under the constructor's performance evaluation system or PPES, or a similar performance evaluation or monitoring document. For contracts with the private sector, an equivalent supporting document must be submitted. Failure to provide the required documentation may result in disqualification. Alteration or substitution of prescribed bidding forms, Section 9, Philippine Bidding Documents Related Forms, ITD Clause 17-1. Pursuant to Section 9 of the Philippine Bidding Documents Related Forms, the forms required under ITD Clause 17-1 must be completed strictly in accordance with the prescribed format. No alterations, modifications, or substitutions of the official forms shall be accepted. Any deviation from the required format may lead to the rejection of the bid. For corporation and partnership, failure to attach the General Information Sheet or GIS reflecting the BOI duly received by the SEC and sworn affidavit in your bid as part of your eligibility in compliance to Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009 on the declaration of beneficial ownership shall also be a ground for disqualification. Also, failure to specify the applicable taxes itemized in the detailed estimates using the prescribed bid for, particularly under Declaration E, shall be a ground for disqualification. This is in accordance with the instruction to bidders, ITB Clause 17-2, and is provided under Section 9 of the Philippine Bidding Documents. The forms referred to in ITB Clause 17-1 must be duly accomplished and submitted without any alteration to their prescribed format. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any questions or comments from the viewers online?
There are 24 views and 1 confirmed views, and there are no comments.
Okay, thank you. For the other matters,
For the other matters, Mr. Chair, for information and guidance for prospective leaders, visit our government issued memorandum and department orders. These are number one, interim guidelines upon lifting of suspension procurement activities for locally funded civil works projects as referred into DPWH memorandum dated September 16, 2025. Under this memorandum, live streaming bidding activities, Section 38.2 for the IRR RA 12009, geotagging of project sites, DO 85 series of 2020, preparation of a straight line diagram, DO 246 series of 2024, net financial contracting capacity, Section 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009. Number two, bidders' responsibilities, the Philippine bidding documents, procurement of infrastructures projects. Department Order number 3, Department Order number 28, series of 2024, dated February 26, 2024. Subject: three-strike policy of infrastructure goods consulting services contracts. Number 4, Occupational Safety and Health Program and the instruction to leaders. Number 5, Department Order number 241, series of 2024. Subject: guidelines on processing approval and reporting system of construction safety and health program for DPWH infrastructure projects. Number 6, Department Order number 171, series of 2025, dated August 30, 2025. Subject: guidelines on the use of DPWH performance evaluation systems for constructors, consultants, and suppliers. For number 7, directive to require submission of general information sheet reflecting beneficial information. Memorandum dated February 24, 2026. Clarification on the implementation of beneficial ownership information disclosure requirements under the memo dated November 19, 2025. And reminder for the prospective leaders that the review documents must follow the completeness and sufficiency of the bid. The discounts offered should be clearly and legibly written with signatures so that the bank will be able to read it during the opening. Also reminded, they are not allowed to follow up during evaluation period until the issuance of the notice of court, unless the bank in writing request for a clarification of its case. The no contact rule policy will be strictly observed. Whatever submitted during the drafting of bids will be evaluated. Submission of locking or another document is not allowed. If there are any changes in the basic contract data of these projects, kindly closely check and monitor the DPWH and projects websites for information and guidance regarding the bid briefing, and also if there are amendments to the bidding documents of these projects and all other notices, example, postponement or re-advertisement. The opening of this will be on April 28, 2026 at 10 a.m. That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you. And for the summary of the proceedings,
For all contracts under indication to bid number 2025, bids report, there are no changes in the basic contract data as posted in the
okay, members, any queries for discussion? Okay, hearing none, any motion for adjournment? Move for the adjournment of this proceeding. The adjournment has been moved and seconded, therefore this proceeding is now adjourned.